Welcome at a Blender quick tip, and for today, fast cycles render settings. First, make sure your render engine is on cycles render, which can be found over here. And some of you might know that you can actually render on two different ways, or with your CPU, which can be found in the render tab, or if you open it on your GPU. If your GPU ain't in the list, you can simply turn that on by clicking on File, User Preferences, then go to System tab and then turn on CUDA and select your video card if your video card will support this, and then save user settings. Now, because you don't want to spend too much time on testing your render settings, which can take up to 30 minutes to an hour depending on your artwork, you want to start as small as possible, which I mean your resolution scale, the size of your picture. I'm just going to put this on 20% or else it will be my whole screen, and that can take a long time for testing. Also, another thing you want to do at sampling, you want to increase the samples. I'm just going to put it on 1000. So when I'm rendering my picture, I'm sure that it looks good. For the people who doesn't know what I mean, if you just put this on 5 and I'm pressing F12, it looks like this. That's too bad. If I would put this on 100, do this again, you can see it looks a little bit better. But in this case, I'm going to put it on 1000. Before I'm going to show you all the settings, I must say that I have tested everything before to save up some time for this quick tip video. Which I mean, with these settings and our CPU turned on, just going to press F12. Over here it says 38 seconds, right? But in the end it took me 56 seconds. Reason why it took longer than it says is because every part of this artwork is different. Sometimes it has more reflection, sometimes lesser reflection or transparency. This is just a kinda about time. I don't know exactly how to explain, but it took me 56 seconds. Now if I change this to GPU and press F12, it says over here 1 minute and 50 seconds. In the end, it took me 1 minute and 49 seconds, which in case the CPU took lesser time than the GPU. But I got the best results for the end and it will be surprising. So one thing to increase the render time, or better to say disincrease the render time, you can go to light paths and disincrease the bounces of the light, how much time it needs to bounce between objects. Just gonna put that on 4, that's good enough. I got it on CPU, pressing F12. It says 39 seconds, in the end it took 55 seconds, which in case is still 1 second lesser. So de-increasing the bounces saves up 1 second on the CPU. Now let's see what it does for the GPU. On the GPU it says 1 minute 45. In the end, it took 1 minute 44 seconds, which we saved up 5 seconds by just disincreasing the light bounces. And now the thing will come. The next thing you could do is change the tile sizes. The tile sizes are actually these things down here. Will make sense in seconds, and over the years I have learned, for me the best tile size is this number down here. Gonna change it back on CPU, and now if I press F12, it says 4 minutes and 17 seconds. In the end it took 5 minutes and 12 seconds. And as I said, I saved the best for the last. If I'm going to change it back to GPU, press F12, watch what happens. 46 seconds. In the end it took 42 seconds. So, strange things happening here. Increasing the tile size would take a longer time for the CPU to render, but for the GPU it took lesser time. Just gonna put a list in the screen so you can watch it with me. Rendering on pure CPU with no settings changed, it took 56 seconds. For the GPU, 1 minute 49. With the light bounces changed, it took 1 second lesser with the CPU and 5 seconds lesser for the GPU. With the tiles being increased, it took 5 minutes and 12 seconds for the CPU, but it took only 42 seconds for the GPU. So in the end, this is my result. This is what I have to do. I have to render this on my GPU with these settings being changed. Now you have to understand, when I'm just putting this all the way up, press F12, it's gonna say a lot of time. You can see it takes 15 minutes total. Now just for fun, I'm going to turn these back on 12. Turn these back to the default of 64. With the CPU and the max resolution. Before it was 60 minutes. And now it takes 38 minutes. So changing these few settings saves you up a lot of time. If you have some questions or a request, then comment below. If this tip was useful, then like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.